Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic week. Well, I've shared a few stories about some pretty not great things that I've done as far as decision making in some of my earlier cruises when I first started cruising. And some people have sent me some of theirs, and one really stuck out to me and I thought I'd share it with you. And I promised I wouldn't give their name. It's really not that bad of a story. In fact, it's really kind of adorable. So let me set the situation for you. We have a young man about 25 years ago. He was around 26 years old, just finished university, had just got his first job, and worked for a couple of years to finally be able to afford to go on his first cruise. First time he's ever traveled anywhere in his life. So he decided to take a cruise. He went out by himself, booked an inside cabin, priced out all his expenses and everything, actually did a pretty good job of it, he thought. And he got on board, and on the first night in the main dining room, he met another solo passenger, a rather attractive young lady, same age, and they seemed to hit it off quite nicely. In fact, after dinner, they decided to take in one of the shows on board, and then they decided to meet for breakfast the next day because, as luck would have it, turns out they were on a shore excursion, the exact same one, the very next day. It's almost like it was written by a Hollywood studio. It's such a meet cute, if you would say. So, long story short, over the course of this 10-day cruise, they ended up spending the entire cruise together on doing shore excursions and dancing at night and having dinner together and really kind of hit it off. And as anyone who's been on a cruise knows, when you're on a cruise, there are photographers. And the photographers are there for formal nights, and they're there when you're getting on the ship. They're there when you're getting off the ship. They're walking around the main dining room taking pictures of you. So if you were to pose for all of these pictures, there would be dozens of photographs of you. And in this case, they did. They wanted to get pictures together, and they were posing. They were having such a good time, and they posed for all these pictures together, and not only once, but sometimes twice or three times, just to get different angles and different shots, and just, poses and making fun and just having a good time. And so near the final day of the cruise, they met down and they headed off to the photography area to take a look at the pictures, and the young man thought to himself, he's gonna buy all these pictures for the girl to show him, they had such a good time, because he's hoping to be able to meet her again after the cruise. He really liked her. And so they looked at all the pictures and all this and got them all together, and it ended up costing him about $380 worth of photographs. This is 25 years ago, so picture how much money that really is 25 years ago. That's well over $1,000 worth of photography photographs, because they didn't have packages so much in those days. So you were buying individual pictures, and it ended up being $380, and the guy was thinking to himself, okay, what can I do to cut back on money next week, because this is going to break me. But I don't want to look like a cheapskate and everything on this first meeting of this young woman. And so they looked at the photos, they got them, and he handed her to him, and she's all happy. She's got this big smile on her face, and he's all impressed. He's showing off, and she looks at him and says, "Aren't you going to get any pictures?" And he ended up buying the doubles for another $380 more, just because he didn't know what to say. And I can completely commiserate with this gentleman, because when you first meet somebody, no matter how old you are, you want to make a good impression, and sometimes you do stupid things. And this is probably a stupid thing, to bankrupt yourself for photographs for no real reason. And the gentleman I know, I talked to him quite a bit, and he was laughing his head off. He says he ate Kraft dinner for like 4 months after this because he literally emptied his entire life savings on photographs at the time. But he says there was a silver lining to the story, because that same girl that he met on the cruise has now been his wife for 21 years. So pretty good, worthwhile investment, I'd say. And well, at least I asked him, I said, are you still happily married? He says, every day. So good on him. For $380 worth of photographs, I'd say you did a pretty good job. So I'm glad to see I'm not the only one out there who's ever done something stupid on a cruise ship. So hope you like this story. It's nice to have a lighthearted story every once in a while instead of those tragic stories that happen all the time and health updates and all this stuff. So I really appreciate him sharing that story with me. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.